Okay, so book of this week was Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrazzi, and the book costs about $27, but I got this from the public library, and this book is actually very good. I enjoyed reading it, and it's kind of lengthy because it's like 300 and something pages. I think it could be shorter, but I'm going to discuss that in my personal thoughts. So, the book speaks about relationships, building relationships with the people and creating a network for connecting with people for business purpose and personal. Because, like, towards the end of the book, he says, towards the last two chapter, or the last chapter, I believe, that's called. What's the last chapter called? Welcome to the Connected Age. This chapter was a bit different from the rest of the book because he goes into a more spiritual kind of aspect of it, and how ultimately what matters in the end is not money and success, or the kind of job that you had, like if you were a CEO, but rather the relationships that you established, and I guess what you contributed to your community. And but then it touches a little on, it tells a story about going on some meditation event. What else? So some of the contents that were covered in the book, becoming a member of a club, for example. So he gives you a lot of tips on how to build a network. So you can become a member of a club just in general, like don't keep scores when you're meeting people. So like if I do one thing for you, you're going to do one thing for me. No, just be generous. Like if you meet someone and you can do 10 things for them if they do one for you. Like it doesn't matter. Like you want to build a strong relationship with people. And then like what's your mission on life, and then there's these little segments in the book called the Connectors Hall of Fame profile, and like he did one on Bill Clinton, Eleanor Roosevelt, Dale Carnegie for sure, because this book reminds me of the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. I didn't finish that book, but it is on my to read list, and this book, because I read like maybe 5 chapters of how to win friends and influence people, and this book kind of had a similar tone. So like if your social skills aren't that great, this is a good book to pick up. And if you're in the field of business and sales, this is also a great book for you. What else? He discussed the skill sets, just like little tips, like instead of cold calling, do warm calls, which is like you've met the person before, you get the information, and so that when you call them, you keep it very short, nice, courteous, to the point. Something direct, and not beating around the bush with people who are in an important position to get what you want. What else? I took a lot of notes. I took like 3 pages of notes on this book. Some things that I think later on I might reflect on it, and might help me. So he says relationships get stronger the more that you use it. Start a network long before you need to use it. So just like establishing rapport with people. The art of small talk, that was a good section. What else? Relationship action plans, called RAP. I thought that was pretty good, so I wrote that down. So goals must be specific, goals must be believable, and goals must be challenging and demanding. And then in general, just to initiate it. What else? Let me see. I think I think that was about it. But overall, if I had to rate this book, and I'm going to put a more detailed written review of the book on my the Goodreads profile. So check me out, go there, and you can get more in-depth detail about the book. But overall, I think I'm going to rate this book. I think it's something that everyone should read, maybe in college, high school, because there was one point made in the book where he was saying that the success of a college student is not based on like their test scores or how academically well they do, but rather based on how many clubs they joined and clubs that they've started. So like networking. meeting people. The central theme of this book is communication and socializing, but in an effective way, and not just, I don't know how else people can socialize. I'm trying to get some good points from my notes from my 2-page notes. I thought it was 3 pages, but one of the topics that he touches on is vulnerability. And then there was a formula for trust that I like in the book, and the formula for trust is supposedly, so like getting people to trust you is generosity plus vulnerability plus accountability plus candor, just being truthful. Some of the key concepts in the book that I like was when discussing health, wealth, and children. That was good. So like that's like a topic that you can discuss with most people, that will strengthen your connection with them. Self-actualization, not really discussed in depth, but just saying it's the desire to become the best you that you can. And then just like touching on Maslow's hierarchy and saying that at the bottom, like, of the hierarchy, where we have the physical aspects, that's where the socializing comes into it, because you're connecting with the people you're socializing, and it's like as you get higher above in your hierarchy, in the Maslow's hierarchy, it just becomes more about like sustaining those relationships and bringing them to a more spiritual side. One of the concepts that he brought up that I never heard was called pegging, P as in Paul, INGING, and basically saying just to peg all the time, which is, pegging is just maintaining your relationship and not like calling the person when you need something, but just trying to maintain the relationship so that if you ever need something, that you can call them. A good point, one of the good points was like listing knowing your contacts by degrees. So like first degree are the people that you contact once a month, versus second degree, which is what was second degree? Those are the people, those are like your acquaintances, you touch base with them. They're like your casual acquaintances, or like people you already know. And then third degree, those are the people you don't really know that well, but that you've met once or twice or a few times. And for those people, he was saying that the best pegging occasion for them would be to best pegging occasion would be contacting them during their birthday, because birthdays are special and individual to everyone. So people feel special when you can contact them around their birthday. And yeah, that's it. So good book. I recommend reading it. I began to read it, but then towards the end I started skimming through it, because a lot of the information I didn't really need, because I'm very familiar with it from the field of work that I'm in. So this is something that we discuss a lot at work, and when it comes to like building up your clientele. And so, like I said, if you're in sales, if you're in business, just in general, if you want a good book, or if you're a shy person, or just in general, if you want a good book on bettering your communication, or like creating stronger connections, this would be the book for you. Thank you.